So now we're faced with a situation of a screw that has broken off flush, and it's a critical screw. We need to have a good screw right there, so we have to get rid of that broken screw. And it's going to be a messy process. What we're going to do is drill a hole on either side of it, try knocking it back and forth to loosen it up, grab it with a pair of pliers, yank it out, drill a bigger hole in its place, fill that bigger hole with wood, re-drill, and then go ahead and put the screw back in. Messy, but it does get the job done. And if a piece of hardware is over it, you'll never see it. If it's exposed, you can actually make the inset of the wood look half decent. So to start with, I have a drill that's a little bit smaller than the screw. It's about the same as the root diameter of the screw. And I'm going to start by drilling a hole on either side of this. Crank the torque up, crank the speed up, put the drill in the right direction. Okay, then I'm going to take a metal punch and I'm going to put it against the head and I'm going to drive it over. And I'm going to drive it back. And I'm going to do that a couple times. And what I'm doing is I'm loosening up the screw in that slot. Now I'm going to see if I can grab that and pull it out yet. I might not be able to. It's still being stubborn. I need to make more hole. So I'm going to come in beside it. So it's getting looser all the time. There, now I'm getting it. There. So now I have an ugly spot where a screw was. And it's time to fix that. But it's wood. Don't worry. We can fix wood. So to fix that ugly hole, I have over here some options. First off, are toothpicks. If I had been able to make just a little hole beside it, or been able to pull it out, but the hole was a little bit bigger than I wanted, I could take a toothpick, put it down into a hole, break it off, run a screw down into that, and that toothpick would take up some of that extra space that I had created. But I've made a big ugly hole here. That's just not going to work. I need something more than a toothpick. So I have a bunch of different sized chunks of dowel of different pieces of wood. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a dowel that's big enough to clean up my mess. I'm going to drill a hole that size, and I'm going to put some glue on the dowel, tap it down in, and then cut it off flush, and re-drill for my screw. So this is a 1/4 inch dowel. It's close, but I think I'm better off going up one size. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. So take a vernier. .358. So 0.358, a 23/64 is going to be a very good match to that. As a sanity check to see if they really did get the right one. Yep. So now I'll put my screw in, put my drill in. I'm going to want about 3/4 of an inch deep hole. I've got enough wood, I can go 1 inch and know that I'm going to stay entirely in this dowel. I'm just going to put a little mark on my drill to let me know how far down I'm going. So that's going to give me 1 inch of dowel. So I come over, it's already centered on the hole, so the hole is going to guide it. That is my hole, and my dowel is going to fit into it nicely. So I will take some glue, put a little glue on my dowel. And so I'll let that set until it dries. Okay, so our dowel is now glued in place. I'm going to saw it off flush to the surface of the wood. If you're doing this on a guitar, you want to save the surface of the wood that's around it. That's going to keep me from scratching the wood, and it's going to keep my saw blade 1 tape thickness above the surface of the wood. And I'm going to grab a piece of sandpaper. And I'm going to sand it flush. So now I have a repaired hole. It's going to be covered by the bridge that I'm screwing in, so I'm not worried about appearance. But this is the screw that I'm going to be putting in. So I've chosen a drill bit that is the minor diameter of the screw. So there's room for the shank of the screw, but the edges will still bite in. And I've set my drill so that if I drill all the way down, I know I've got plenty of room for the length of the screw. If you have the option of doing this in a drill press, that's even better because you know you can get straight down. If not, you've got to eyeball it. I want this in the center. If you're doing this on a piece that has other screws in it, you can put the piece in place and mark it. I just need a hole in the center for this. So that is my hole. Now I'll switch over, putting my screwdriver bit in, down to low speed, down to low torque. Take my screw and some lubricant. Oops, let me grab the piece of hardware I'm putting on. Start my screw. And I have recovered from a broken screw.